As a student in Germany in 1965, I was frustrated with the grammar. Mr. Dog, no gender women, der Hund, das Frau. It was frustrating. And one day I got so frustrated, I told my supervisor, if Hitler would have won the battle, I would have come here as a professor in German to teach you German. It was a silly remark. But I was frustrated. I spoke out things like that very often. And that was that. But do we understand the gravity of the lives that were spent to make us today, as free citizens, to walk around the world because a few thousand people gave their life willingly? I still cannot fathom how much I try to understand as to how the sign of the bugle, they put on their shoes and go out, not knowing whether they will listen to another voice, another bugle noise. Yes, when I told him that there was a gleam in the German's face, because Germans are very proud of their culture, language, and they believe Deutschland über alles, Germany above everything. About 200 years ago, in our part of the world, the story is told there were 4 young graduates who get together in a haystack. I don't know whether you understand what haystack is. It's very common in our lives, where you stuck up the hay, and these young lads were seated down and talking. They were Christians, so probably they must have a common subject. And there was suddenly thunder, lightning, and rain. They were scared. They thought they may not get out, that they might be found dead, because it was new to them. They made a promise that they will take the message of salvation to the countries that do not know Christ. This sacrifice has been followed by many in various ways. Missionaries have come from far and near, learned the language, mastered it, translated the literature into English so that the Western world can know the richness of our culture and the language. They did not only do that. There were young people who could have gone to any place. They could have been magistrates, lawyers, but they chose to serve Christ, to take this word of salvation to the unknown world. One of these missionaries, I don't know whether I mentioned it last time. I'm so full of it, I come out with it. Missionary translated the medical books into Tamil. Imagine learning a language and translating it. And to this day, the Tamil Nadu, that book is a textbook. What a wonderful thing. How did that happen? Because they were inspired by the Holy Spirit. The saddest part of this story is 80% of these missionaries did not live over 45 years. They succumbed to malaria, typhoid, and various other tropical diseases. Yet people did come. Yet people did come because their zeal to proclaim God's message. Another great thing in our gospel, in our New Testament book is that everything in those gospel readings, they are presented as it was. I wish I could read it back again, read it over again, that gospel reading, the Acts, the St. Luke's portion of this incident. Very cleverly crafted, very cleverly presented, very precise and concise and to the point. Let me read it for you, a portion of it. Now, the angel of the Lord said to Philip, "Go south to the road, that desert road that goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza." So he started out on his way. He met an Ethiopian eunuch. Is the pronunciation correct? Eunuch? Because I read the Bible in Tamil, so that is a different version. Eunuch. And an important official in charge of a treasury of Kandahar, which means the Queen of Ethiopia. This man has gone to Jerusalem to worship. And it goes on like that. In this story, the story begins with getting some instruction from an angel. Maybe inclusion, maybe a voice that coming from inner self. The direction he was going was very funny. It was a desert for over 100 years. And you meet the most unlikely person in that desert. He's a wealthy Ethiopian, We can assume right away that because he's an Ethiopian, Luke's audience will be fascinated with this Ethiopian. It's like relating a story to draw the attention, the words I use properly, so that people get absorbed in the story behind. But it's a true story. It's a culture that these people who were listening would not understand. Africa was considered to be the end of the world. That's what the perception of the people at that time. So here is an instance how God's message was processed to go to the end of the world. Why? That is how, anyway, I'll leave it there. Judaism has a specific view on an Enoch. Judaism has, in Deuteronomy 23, specifically what the eunuch can do. They are an outcast. They are people kept in the concubine or whatever you call it, and they are to protect the queen. And these people can't enter a temple. And here we go on to say, this man from the end of the earth has been to Jerusalem, and he is on his way back. It was very surprising. This man was a powerful, in charge of money, and coming from Jerusalem, he was seated in his car. And here again the angel speaks. The Spirit told Philip, go to the chariot and stay near it. Then the Philip ran to the chariot and he heard the man reading Isaiah the prophet. Do you understand what you are reading? Philip asked. How can I, he said, unless somebody explains to me. This is a passage we heard. So, we had another project, Philip what to do and where to go. Philip had a wonderful opportunity to use the exact passage that he was reading to proclaim the word of God, proclaim the salvation. As the story goes on further, as the chariot traveled along, this man explained to him using the same text, proclaiming about salvation. Because this man was confused, this Enoch was confused. He was thinking, whom is Isaiah referring to? Is he referring to himself? Is he referring to someone else? So, there he hit the nail on the head and he was convicted. And when they saw the water, they baptized, Philip baptized this Enoch. What a story! What a powerful story! Imagine an Enoch who can't enter the temple, who will be in the outer circle, who can't worship Yahweh, Jehovah the God. But under normal circumstances, they would have never been baptized. But this man, a revolution has happened. And he was baptized. And he was very happy because he has formed the group who call Christians. I think the key character about the story is the lesson on evangelism. But probably not the way we expect. Constantly, what this story seems to point out is to show how God is prodding Philip to do something or another. Philip only asked one question, and he was prepared to follow. Sometimes I start thinking evangelism is this weird made up things that Christians have done to someone to motivate them to do things that they care about people. This forced habit that you just have to take to people about the Lord and make sure that they are saved, so they don't go to hell. Another small incident. I worshipped in a Baptist church in Germany. As I walked into the church, a young lad came and asked me, "Are you saved?" "Oh yes, I have come out of Sri Lanka saved. But are you saved?" I'm not joking, I did not understand what he meant because I have not heard that word in the United Church in Sri Lanka. Yes, we have terminologies, we have dictums to explain what is salvation means. People, how have we seen to evangelize people? We yell about it, God. This is another way of evangelism. You see in street corners, talk about hellfire and even argue with you about salvation. That is not evangelism. That is not what we do. What is evangelism? Here Luke places this great story saying that all human beings, white, brown, black, even a saint or holy, considered to be himself to be holy, has a place in God's chamber. And here he places this story in the heart of an episode where Christianity was spreading out. As much as those 4 young people came to Sri Lanka and proclaimed the word of God, put up schools, put up educational institutions of great standing. Mrs. Reverend Smith, who started the school where John studied, is an Australian. His wife was here, died very recently. His son is a doctor. These missionaries risked their life. And today the whole world almost have heard God's message. You don't need to convert people to believing your sets of beliefs. Live the kind of life that is sharing the good news around you through the acting of your life. I'll repeat again. You don't need to convert people to believing your set of beliefs. You need to live as if you believe that your beliefs are real. Live the kind of life that is sharing that good news around you through the action in your life. This is the ultimate form of evangelism. This is the ultimate form of evangelism. And it is through that life that God's good news will continue to go forth. Amen. I hope I can get to the screen.